From each happily ever after, every wish upon a star. Let's break down the movies that shaped who we are. From memory lane to now and everything in between. The most famous of films to the ones we've never seen. Decade by decade, all the times we laughed and cried, and with a little pixie dust, they will all take flight. Reliving the feelings, and we're trying our very best. And if they mean the same to you, please be our guest. So hop aboard, we would love to have you as we hang with a certain mouth, the whole gang too. If you love nostalgia stuff, we hope this does the trick. Thanks for joining us as we deep dive the magic.
Hi, and welcome back to the Deep Diving the Magic podcast. I'm KJ.
And I am Jeffrey. And happy 2-year anniversary. Believe it or not, we have made it 2 years of this podcast. 2 years of watching every single Disney feature-length film, including the Disney Channel films, which is what brought us to this film today. So today's film for our 2-year anniversary is film number 166 from November the 17th of the year 1985, and that is The Blue Yonder. Again, this is our 2-year anniversary film, but more importantly, this is film number 167, like I said, from November of 1985. The Blue Yonder is a live action adventure film, time travel film. Would you like to start us off with a synopsis about The Blue Yonder from film number 166?
Can Jonathan save his grandfather? We're going to find out through time travel. Welcome
Alright.
to the Blue Yonder.
All right, so The Blue Yonder. Um, Obviously, it was released on the Disney Channel. It did get a theatrical, or not a theatrical release, but like a home video release afterwards. Any thoughts or opening remarks about our 2-year anniversary film?
Well, it's another I had never heard of, and I had obviously never seen.
Mhm.
Wasn't sure what to expect. I definitely, from the title, was not expecting it to be a movie about planes, nor was I expecting it to be about time travel.
And it was both.
hmm What about you?
Um, yeah, I got nothing. It was a film that happened. We watched it because we're watching them all. But actually, it wasn't bad. It was just,
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
um, if you like time travel, then you're in.
hmm
All right. Um, First off, before we do jump into it, yeah, we made it 2 years. 2 years and over 160 films. We almost made it 50 years.
hmm
Wild. But,
It's been busy.
well, yeah, I mean, imagine how busy the Disney Channel or the Disney company's been. They've released 50 years worth of films that we've watched.
Yeah.
And Blue Yonder, believe it or not, is one of them. So, we meet this dude named Jonathan. He's a kid, 11 years old, and he is um, not caring about baseball. He is more caring about going to see his family, his longtime family friend named Henry,
hmm
older man, who's the same guy from
The
the
undergrad.
undergrads we watched a few weeks ago,
hmm
who is his late grandfather's best friend.
hmm
Um, they talk about the blueprints of this time traveler project, this airplane they got. The grandfather was really into airplanes. I guess the grandfather,
Was really into inventing things and
yeah,
coming up with ideas.
but he also like tried to fly across the Atlantic before Lindbergh, or he passed away in trying it.
Yeah, so he went the north route, which was not his instinct because it was supposed to be the shortest route. Um, and went up into a cloud, Henry was telling us, and was never seen again.
No. Um, so his family, it just reminds him that his father, died in the in the
And it was
end.
before um, Jonathan's dad was born, so he
Correct.
never got to meet his father, so he never had that bond with his father.
Correct. Um, basically, but then there's this dude Henry who was there, who always talks about it, about how it was this amazing, daring challenge, but
Mhm.
obviously it didn't work, because Charles Lindbergh was the one that got there first.
Mhm.
Um, where are we? So then basically, but we learned that this dude Henry is not in good health. He has like a heart attack or something.
He's having some heart problems, and he was telling Jonathan, too bad your grandfather didn't invent a mechanical heart valve.
Hmm. But he does talk about how he built this time travel machine that allows you like this window to be able to travel wherever. And
Mhm.
he was going to use it to try to go save his best friend, the grandfather.
Mhm.
But he's not in good health anymore. So then
Yeah.
Jonathan decides that he's going to do it.
Now, did you think that he went through all this effort and everything because obviously when we go back in time and see him interacting with his best friend, he was really pushing his best friend to go. He's like, no, we got to go the north route. We've researched it, da da da, and you got to do this. You got to do it now. Like we got to do this, and just kept like, nope, we didn't know. We've got to do it this way because this is what we've researched. Do you
Well, we
think
don't
that's
know
why he
how
was like so like
probably.
bent on making all of his ideas and stuff?
Probably. But he's also bent on the fact that the time travel machine is not tested, it's not safe, it's too
Mm-hmm.
risky. But Jonathan decides that he's going to do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Steals the key, and he wakes up early the next day, breaks into the house to activate the time machine. And then this time machine hits zero, it starts spinning like crazy, and takes him to the year 1927, where he looks nothing like anybody else because he's wearing a 1980s gear, and he's back in 1927, which is before we started this watch along
Mm-hmm.
by a few years. Basically, they think that they have no idea what it is. He buys some candy for like change, but he gives them a dollar bill, which is a bill from the future, so they think that it's a counterfeit bill, and everybody is on to them.
Well, the mobster shady people get brought into it,
Yeah,
and
like the shady cop.
they don't believe it's counterfeit. They're like, that's as real gets, but it's obviously not from this time because it's got the date on it and everything. And they're looking at it and they're like, this is suspicious. And then he's like, huh, I found this in my basement. What do you think it is? It just happens to show up when this kid shows up with a counterfeit bill. Anyway.
So he's trying to find his grandfather, and he's walking through town, and he's walking through town, and he's causing a scene. But he does end up finding Max testing a gyroplane, which he crashes into a barn.
Hmm.
This is where we meet the grandfather, the inventor, but he does take a liking to Jonathan because he thinks he's a runaway. Um, yep, the bootlegger and the corrupt police, again, they find the machine. They're after this dude. They want to get some gambling wins or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, Jonathan ends up connecting with his grandfather and his grandmother, who was pregnant with his father. Um, Max is showing the kid all his inventions and stuff. The blueprints for the same time travel machine that he used. He shows him the airplane that's called the Blue Yonder. And he's going to try to fly it across the Atlantic. He ends up taking Jonathan on a flight. Um, he even allows Jonathan to fly some of it or whatever.
Hmm.
But then Jonathan is like trying to convince his grandfather, well, this guy Max, not to go on this flight. Um,
After
and
he finally convinces him that time travel is real.
well, not yet. So like basically, after he can't convince this dude, he says, "All right, well, I am your grandson from the future," and that's when he's trying to convince him that time travel's real.
Hmm.
Dude doesn't believe him, so he attempts to show him the time machine, but the bad people have moved it and they can't find it.
Hmm.
Um, And then he's like, look, tomorrow there will be these dudes trying to fly an airplane and it'll crash and they'll both die. And then they don't believe him. And then next day
Well,
it
he
does happen.
said, well, I mean, that could happen to anyone. He's like, but it's going to happen in such and such place.
Yeah.
And he's like, really? That seems far-fetched. And then they get there, and for sure enough, it's exactly how the boy described it.
But then with all the commotion and news and everything about the crash,
Hmm.
um, the boy gets spotted, so he has to like run away. But he hides the key in the pocket
Oh, his
of his
grandfather.
grandfather. Um, the grandfather takes the key, goes to the plan, sees that it matches, um, breaks the boy out of jail in a very anticlimactic, why would you put a window in a jail cell type scene.
Hmm.
Um, they go to
Because
this,
it's 1927.
yeah, they go to go to the basement. They find the time machine. At this point, Max completely believes that this dude is his grandson. Um, and he's still warning him about not taking the flight.
Hmm.
Um, um, but he's convinced about how he can't take that route because he'll fail. Uh,
And he even tells him that, like, you just have to wait till a certain date.
4 days.
And then he's like, why? And he's like, because Lindbergh's actually going to make it.
Mhm.
So he's still kind of like torn, like he wants to be the first one to do it, but at the same time, his grandson's already told him that
You're
you're
not
not going to make
gonna
it.
make it. Um, but he does leave a note for his son, or for his grandson, saying that you know what, he's gonna do it. He's gonna attempt a flight, wishes him off. Jonathan races to the airfield, try to stop him, but it's too late. Oh, the police are after him. They begin to chase him. He does spend some time like getting the police to get off the trail. But then Jonathan's like, yo, I need to make it to this thing because I only have a few seconds before the time machine takes off. So he makes it with seconds to spare, activates the time machine, disappears, and the police follow him, which the police end up catching the bad guys in like their bootlegging business. So that's cool.
Hmm.
They get arrested. The kid emerges back in 1985. He's all bummed out about his father's or his grandfather's mission. But then he's walking around and he sees a statue.
No, he talks to Henry
He
first.
talks to his father.
Well, no, he talks to Henry in the hospital
Yeah.
because Henry's still not doing good in the hospital. And he explains to him, the time machine works. I made it back. I got to talk to him, but I still couldn't save him.
And he's like, I know I was there.
But I tried everything, but I couldn't stop him. And he says, I know. You did what you had to do. And then he goes back home, sees his dad. His dad reads something on the front of the paper and says, oh, things never change, which
Yeah,
I
because
thought
he
was
works for the
ironic.
president.
Yes.
But he has to tell him to go to baseball tryouts.
Yeah. He still is all about Little League tryouts.
Okay. 'Tis the season. So he goes to baseball tryouts. Somebody hits a ball really far, so he runs and catches the ball. Um, but he sees like a statue about famous
Aviators.
aviators and sees that his grandfather still died, but he did make it. He survived, or he made it across the Atlantic. He successfully traversed the Atlantic before Lindbergh,
Hmm.
and this is all because of what Jonathan told him. And that's the end of the film. Our 2 year anniversary film ends with a dead aviator. Happily ever after. Um,
Like, really?
anything you want to add in there about the blue yonder film number 2 years of our
Yeah.
lives?
I mean, so he
If we went
did,
back in time,
yeah,
we could
and he did,
watch this differently.
no, I don't want to do that again. He did say, if you could go back in time, do you believe you could change things? And then the grandfather kind of told him, well, you could, but there's going to be positives and negatives to what you've changed. So I think that knowing that and the grandson telling him like you're not gonna make it, he was like, well, I still have to try because if I don't, what else is gonna change? Like there's gonna be an even bigger ripple
Mhm.
in the timeline if I don't try. So I think that probably is what pushed him to go, but try the way he wanted to go instead of the other way that him and his best friend had mapped out and then planned. Um, Still kind of sad that obviously he doesn't survive, but I mean he did die doing his wish, I guess. So that's kind of cool.
So speaking of things not going as planned, let's talk about ratings.
Um, okay. Ratings, I gave this a 7 out of 10. IMDb gave it a 6.5 out of 10. It does not make my list upon a star.
Kind of like it didn't
Didn't
it,
quite
it
land.
didn't live.
There you go.
So it's not going to live forever and it was upon a star. So what is your list upon a star? Brew, 2 years of doing this.
Good question. What is my list upon a star? Well, I would assume it starts with the Apple Dumpling Gang.
Well, number 10 on your list upon a star is the Apple Dumpling Gang
Yes. And then the Apple Dumpling Gang rides
at
again.
9. Yeah.
The Undergrads.
Eddie
Dumbo.
at 7.
Sleeping Beauty.
At 6.
The Parent Trap.
At 5.
The Fox and the Hound.
At 4.
Tex.
At 3.
101 Dalmatians.
At 2
And The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
is your current number 1. So this film did not stick the landing on mine either.
Mm.
So my list of one star is staying the same. At number 10, Peach Dragon. At number 9, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. At number 8, Alice in Wonderland. At number 7, Fox and the Hound. At number 6, Robin Hood. Number 5, Peter Pan. Number 4, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. 3, Mary Poppins. 2, The Rescuers. And number 1 is still 101 Dalmatians. But we watched another film, another Disney Channel film. We've been doing this for 2 years. That's wild. But our next film is the final film of the year 1985. We watched a lot of films in 1985
Mhm.
because we started watching the Disney Channel films too. And our next film, so for those that are following along with us, we know that we are in the heat of the summer. The 4th of July is coming. And nothing screams the 4th of July more than a Christmas movie. We're watching a Christmas movie. It is called One Magic Christmas. Have you heard of it? Don't lie to me. You haven't heard of it. But we are going back to the theatrical releases
And celebrating Christmas in July.
for a doozy called One Magic Christmas. But again, before that, thank you for hanging out with us for 2 years. That's wild. We truly appreciate it. We are on Instagram. If you want to come say hi, deep dive in the magic. We are on Spotify and YouTube. Thanks for clicking that follow button. That means a lot. The thumbs up, the follows, the shares, the ratings, it all means a bunch to us. Enough for us to still do this after 2 years and not build a time machine and stop.
Or strangle one another.
I mean, more or less. But deep dive in the magic. And if you want to write to us about how you want to strangle us, deep dive in the magic pod at gmail.com. But we will be back next time for the final film of 1985 called One Magic Christmas. And we'll see you then.
Thanks for deep diving the magic.
Bye.
Bye.